So to access Data Studio, all you just need to do is just open the URL datastudio.google.com. Then you need to sign in with either your Google Workspace account provided by the organization or even a Gmail, because this is a free tool provided by Google. From here, you can see you have different reports that are either shared with you that you had initially created. There are different templates that you can use from scratch to create your reports. You can connect your data source and even previous going to pick our data source from data within our Google Sheet. From this sheet, you can see you have multiple sheets. It's a workbook containing multiple sheets. Companies that deal with camping equipment. And what they deal with multiple products: cooler box, hiking boats, backpacks, torches, water bottle, etc. And all of them they do have. And this is also mapped now onto the sales that will happen between the different stores. They have multiple stores in multiple countries. All this data is mapped here, but you want the way this data is actually in very many cells, and you can't make quick analysis or create reports from this data. And that's where Google Data Studio comes into play. So from here, we come and create connect to a data source. Now to connect using Google Sheet, because our data is originating from a Google Sheet. We connect this. If it's your first time, Google asks for your authorization to access the data within your. See all the different sheets that are available within your Google Drive. From here, this is the data source that you're picking, and you want to pick the product sales. Use the first rows of the header, which are this: the date, store name, the country, the city, etc., etc., etc. Then, once you're done, you will now connect. So, connecting our Google Sheets to Data Studio can take some time due to the amount of data that is stored within the Google Sheet. But this process is very straightforward. Once done, you now open the page where you can now modify your data source. This has been created. From here, you can see the different data types, right? So if it had picked a numerical or a different header and added a different type of data, you can actually change it. If it's a date, you can return it back to being a date, and you can even timestamp it. And from here, since everything is okay, we will proceed now to create our reports. So you're about to add a data, even some notification, then say you want to add data. So at first it's blank, right? And you see you haven't given a report any given name. You want to do a report based on the profits per given quarter, or even show the different costs and what profit was made within the different countries. We'll give it a name. This automatically here you see Google Data Studio just picks automatic random data from your data source, but you can come and actually customize. This is picked from sheets. From here, we'll have to change the dimension to, so we have our store name, but it picked the record code. But you want to change this, we want the profits. We just here you can see the different profit margins that were made at each store, but you can also customize this. You also include, because you don't come here and actually take the country and add it to our dimensions. Add another thing, store name. And voila, there it is. Now you want to create, this is just a table, but you want a pie chart or even a different bar graph. Come here and take my pie charts and you leave it as that. But you can also here and even put a new bar graph here. Insert a chart, set a bar graph. Then we will drop it there. This one we made pie chart there. Here you want to view the different products that this company sells and how they performed against each other on the different costs or the price of the product or the profits. We'll select our charts and modify the different data sources that are being implemented there. Let's go back here. This one will select the costs, the dimensions, the price of the product, select a different view column. Select cities of cost. No, we can switch this back to the profits or even the revenues. Revenue versus city. Oh yeah, that's what I'm moving towards. For each city here you can see 10, but we want to change that to, scroll down. The metric should be, the dimension is revenue, but the dimension should be city. The metric here should be the revenue, and this can remove city. There it is. You can see the revenue across the different stores, and we can actually decide to map this into a timeline view. From here to time series chart. And then add another dimension, which will be the date. It's already picked from there. Then we want smoothen our time series. And from here you can see different spikes. So far you have two charts. One showing, get it right here. One showing the profit margins between the different cities that our stores are in, and this is a time series showing the different charts. But then we can actually do an additional thing and actually filter our view to a specific date range. So for here, we'll actually add a data controller and change this to a date range, and we'll map it. From here, I want to pick a date range that is, let's say we are measuring our performance or the results per quarter. We choose to go to last quarter. Last quarter starts with from April 1st, from October 1st to December 31st. We apply this. And you will see it will actually filter our data, both in my pie charts and also in my time series charts, the different data. Now I can actually now come and even now decide to style the way my report looks like. I can either choose to use the different things offered by Data Studio, right? Even decide to even share this and invite collaborators to actually work with me on this report. So here I can actually add either a group email or a person's email address. With this one, I want to invite my colleague Monique. Then they will get a notification email. But I want them to be able to edit this report with me. Do this, and I will send it. I will send the invitation to them, and they can join me and edit this report or collaborate with me on this report. Within Data Studio, you can also map additional data, provide different insights and extensive insights into your report. This can also be data from additional sources, analytics, spreadsheets, either any different spreadsheets that are within your Google Drive, or even the same one that we use, but now we want to use a different sheets to also include in our data that we do that we add. Add to reports. From here, I can add a different type of charts. I can add another pie chart as a Donald there. But I want to edit now this from the data that we picked from our sheet 2. I want to pick the data that was here is from the country, the order, quantity, and the revenue. I want to pick the metric to be revenue, and the dimension to be store. Come here and pick a store name. There you go. Once you're ready to download this, you can either download it as a PDF, you can also get an embed link, but before you do take the embed link, you need to edit the viewing access for this sheet, for this report. That will come here and actually manage access. From here, specify who can actually view this report. Anyone on the internet, can actually find this. Anyone with the link can view. Then do that once we are done with our access settings. Save. Forget that. Then close this. Then come here to share. Get the embed code. If you want to embed this to your site, you just take this code and paste it to your website or intranet so that people can actually view this. And also view this data this way. And always come here and actually even view our last quarter. You can also view a different quarter. Say this quarter to date, starting from January to March 23rd, and apply this. And our data is always updated. For the setting where you can actually set how the data will be mapped and the frequency of how the data can be updated from your source to your report, you need to come to resource, manage data resource, come to the different sources, edit things. By default, the data refresh is set to 15 minutes. You can actually now tailor make this to 1 hour, 4 hours, or even 12 hours. An hour, then you can set this as the data refresh. So anytime our data is updated on this sheet here, after an hour, our report will be updated with the recent data picked from the past 1 hour. I think now we can open the floor for questions. And also remember, you can, while I'm finishing off, you can do further analysis using Data Studio. This is just the tip of the iceberg. You can actually delve deeper and do additional views and create visual reports with your data. But for today, we're just covering a brief overview of what you can actually accomplish with Data Studio.